because data scientists, like we are judged mostly on how much value we can offer, right? Like how much impact that we can have to drive a decision, to figure out a problem, to find a solution.
Were there any specific projects you did, or are there any things that you put out there that you felt really set yourself apart? I mean, you did have very good experience from the bioinformatics research and the actual internship, which I think generally trumps projects, but did you supplement those in any way with those types of things?
Yeah, so again, this is like kind of my entire approach. I don't really believe in doing things extra. So I could do lots of like, I call these like personal projects where you get to learn things, right? And I think they, like, don't get me wrong, those are great if you want to learn stuff. But if you want to put stuff on your resume, that's probably, a lot of people have that exact thing you probably did already on their resume. So I try to make it more about like impact-based work when because data scientists, like we are judged mostly on how much value we can offer, right? Like how much impact that we can have to drive a decision, to figure out a problem, to find a solution, not so much like how many deep learning things you can do. So I focus very much on that. So the projects, you want to call that I did was firstly, I did like research with professors because that was kind of like they did the work for me. This is clearly an impactful project. I just have to do the project, right?
Agreed.
And the professor is like good name, and you get a publication if you're lucky, like
And
no
maybe a
guarantee.
referral.
Exactly, and that happened to me as well. So that really helped me. And another thing that I did was pro bono consulting. So this one I think is something people don't really talk about that much, and I think it's actually a really, really good approach to it. Because in a way, being a data scientist, a lot of times you are kind of like consultant. You're just a much more like better consulting in terms of data sense. Like you do it with data, you do it with coding. But in the end, what you're figuring out, it's still something that's supposed to drive a decision, right? Like generally speaking, you're supposed to drive a decision or impact or a solution. So that's actually very similar to consulting. I signed up for one of those projects and I took over the analytics role. And this one is specifically for social media marketing. And I figured out, what it is that they could be working on, did some analytics on it, and, found some like factors that were contributing most towards what was driving their traffic right now and places that they can look into so that they can increase their traffic in the future. And I think that was a project that was really different from most people. And when I was recruiting, going through that process, a lot of people brought that up to me in terms of the interviewers. They would like ask me about that specific project because it's not something they see very commonly. And I think that was something that definitely made me stood out. Also highlighted communication skills and soft skills, which is also extremely important to data scientists. Again, nobody cares what fancy thing you did if you can't
Explain it.
talk about it. See, I can't even explain it now. Exactly. See? Yeah, if you can't explain it, like nobody cares, right? So that really emphasized the fact that I was also able to communicate these insights I discovered and I was actually able to do something with it.
That's awesome. I think that I view that as a project, but a project with a true outcome. And that's what I hope I really stress is that you want people to use your projects. You want your projects to have value to some end user all the time. It can be value to you. Let's say I do some some analysis of my health or my YouTube data, right? I get some positive outcome out of those, hopefully, unless it's like can't eat less fried chicken or something, which I would refuse because. But there's still an end user. There's still value created for someone. If you can show that your projects have impact on someone, that is by definition, just like you said, what a data scientist should be doing.